Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Enlightened Entrepreneur. And today's interview is entitled 3 Business Consulting Mistakes or Business Mistakes that every business owner needs to avoid, especially right at the beginning of their career as an entrepreneur or as a business owner. With me today is a special lady, the lady I met, I think 3 years ago now, and has been at some of my events. In fact, spoke at one of my events in 2015. Was very popular, and so we decided to have her back on the show so that we can talk more about business. The offline event we did was very popular and received a lot of praise. So I thought, why not have her again here? So welcome to the call, Alexandra.
Thank you very much for having me. Really exciting. Having me again, actually.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to have you on the show because you tend to reveal some of the secrets which business owners tend to hold on to themselves closely, but you just share the way it is, and that's why a lot of people have liked you in our first interview and also on our offline event that we did in 2015. So to get us started, Alexandra, for those who haven't come across you and really wants to know about you, could you tell us a bit about your background in business or any other achievement you've had in your life, which our audience could relate to?
Of course. Right. Well, where should I start? In terms of business, I did international business studies up to a master's degree in international business, and with everything that comes with it: management, marketing, finance, accounting. I pretty much studied all of them. And I studied part of my university studies were in America, and most of them were in Romania at the Romanian American University.
Right.
Now, I started my business in 2014. Yes, 2014. Actually, the summer of 2013. I can't even remember when I started.
Right.
Before that, I used to work as a personal trainer in a gym,
Right.
and in a Virgin Active gym, actually, to be more precise. I learned a lot of things there and gained a lot of experience. And after almost 2 years, 1 year and 8 months, I decided it was time for me to make the leap and reach more people. I wanted to reach people globally rather than just in my gym. So that's what I did, and I started with a small fitness business. And now I founded the Merisoiu Technique Institute of Health and Natural Human Movement.
Right.
So that is one side of the story. The other side is my background in terms of athletic performance. So since 1995, I've been practicing many sports, in particular Shotokan karate,
Right.
which is basically my it's in everything I do. So all the discipline, consistency, the teaching techniques, everything comes from that. From other disciplines as well, like target shooting. I took many lessons in many other sports, but in particular Shotokan karate. So from that perspective, I now represent England at the international level, and I'm British national champion and 3rd and 2nd place at the World Championships. So quite an exciting life.
Incredible. I remember the first time I met you, Alexandra, you were actually going for the gold in the championship on an international level. Yes.
I got a bronze instead of a gold.
But performing at that level, certainly you learn a lot of skills that are transferable to business. Now, what sort of skills would you say you can transfer easily from your achievement and success in the world of athletes to business?
Wow, there are so many. I think the one I would start with is the discipline. Now, there are 2 ways to look at discipline, depending on how we've experienced discipline.
Right.
some people see it as very negative and very violent, in the past, how they would discipline you at school, but the discipline I'm talking about is the one that has to do with being consistent. With saying, right, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm going to go for a run at 7 a.m. I am back and in front of the computer, and I'm going to contact 10 people, and I'm going to, call my leads or something like that. So this is the discipline that I'm talking about. In martial arts, in particular for me, now other sports can bring similar level of discipline, of course. But for me, martial arts, I think the first thing was discipline. But the second is being consistent with what I do. So being an entrepreneur is not something that you do overnight, and you know that as well. Overnight success in 5 years. That's yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
If you want to be successful in business, you have to be consistent, regardless of whether you're going to have the ups and downs. And if you don't get over them, then you might as well just go back and get a job.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about discipline, how that played a role in you playing karate at an international level and, coming up second with a bronze. How has that played a huge role in your life?
The discipline.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it kind of governs everything, because if I wasn't as disciplined as I am, I don't think I would have made it so far, because being an entrepreneur is difficult. So I guess when I transferred the discipline, it's difficult to actually talk about discipline, something that I've had with me ever since I can remember.
Correct.
And actually trying to teach it to someone.
Yes.
What we have to remember is that if we want to talk about discipline is like a muscle. And if you don't train the muscle will go weak. And so is with discipline. So, if you just allow yourself to, not do certain things just because you don't feel like it,
right,
that discipline muscle will start to weaken, and in time it's going to get really, really difficult.
Yes.
So I guess being disciplined just makes things easier to manage and to, especially there's a startup phase in the first, I don't know, would you say 5 years is still a startup?
Well, yes, you could say that, depending on what sort of a business you're having.
Yeah.
Some businesses have got a shorter life cycle, so they will move from the startup phase within the in their third year. And there are some other manufacturing companies that still consider themselves in startup when they are 5 or even 7 years, because it takes a whole lot of other things that needs to be put in place before you do that. Now, it's quite obvious to me, because I know you personally. How discipline has paid off for you, and how persistence and just pure dedication to what you're doing has paid off for you. Now let's jump on to talk about the business mistakes which you have seen other entrepreneurs make, or maybe other athletes make when they're getting started, because these two things have got a whole lot in common than we care to appreciate. What sort of mistakes do you see business owner make?
Okay, right. So from my perspective, in terms of my professional area, that's health and fitness, to have a strong business, I mean, you are your own business. If you're not strong and fit and healthy, then how are you supposed to manage a business to make it fit and healthy, right? So there are 3 things that I believe entrepreneurs should pay attention, and we don't. And I have to admit that sometimes I am guilty of this as well. But we need to keep it under control.
Right.
One is the physical health. So even Tony Robbins was saying in one of his videos that when you feel strong and powerful, when you have that physical strength, then you feel you feel awesome, you feel good, you feel powerful. So you go and you're hungry for success and you go for it. If you are weak and it's just you don't feel like doing stuff. So the physical strength and cardiovascular, really important. The second is nutrition.
Okay, before we jump on to nutrition, the next one, let's focus on the physical strength for a moment.
Okay.
When a business owner is running a business, how important is it that they are in their best shape? I know you touched on that a little bit from Tony's Robin, but in your experience, how important is it for a business owner to be in that optimum stage?
Well, it depends how important it is for a business owner to have a fit and healthy business. So we're talking about the healthy business.
Right.
If you wake up and go for a run in the morning, you will feel set up for the day.
That's right.
If you do 100 press ups in the morning, again, it's going to make you feel like ready to take on the day. It's like that. It's not only physical, of course, it's mental as well, right? So it sets you up in the right state, physical and mental state, to get the work done. And remember, we said about being consistent and disciplined. Well, this is part of it. So, yeah, I think it's very. I don't know. I can't give you a percentage, but as I said, if you are serious about your business, you have to be serious about your health and fitness.
Absolutely. I've discovered in my own life, I do 30 minutes of cardio each morning, and later on in the evening, maybe 15 minutes before I go to bed. I've discovered that after the 30 minutes that I do power walk on my treadmill, just outside my home office, that when I come back and get ready to work, I'm ready for the day, and if I can take on there 30 minutes of walking and running, I can do anything, really. And over the years that I've done that on a daily basis, my health has been so good, and it means my mind also is good. And you know as well as I do that when you are doing these exercises, you are taking in breath, your body has enough oxygen that it needs. That oxygen enables you to think straight and to think positive, and you'll be able to use what you're learning in the strength you're getting from your physical strength in your mind. Now let's talk about the nutrition, which you were about to bring up a few minutes ago.
Yes, well, this is obviously related to influences, actually, the mental and physical state.
Right.
So we have to remember that our brains are really important, our bodies as well, but our brains are really important because we need to make some really difficult decisions. We need to have a fresh mind. We can't, eat sugar in the morning and then be all drowsy in the afternoon and eat all sorts of, excuse my language, crap. So, and expect our business to run smoothly. What you eat also affects your mood. So, do you want to be moody all day? What are you going to do? I mean, what will you achieve with your business if your mood goes up and down?
That's right. People don't want to do business with the people who are moody all day.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we think that, I don't have energy. Let me eat something sugary. And then the energy levels go up. You feel all pumped up. And then within an hour or two, your energy levels go down again, and then you start being moody, and then you eat some sugar, and so on and so forth. Also, skipping meals, for example, leads pretty much to the same thing. So the mental, you are the moody part, but also the physical. You want to be strong. Yeah, you can go for a run and do press ups and all that, but if you don't fuel your body, it's not going to be strong. So nutrition is something that we ignore it as entrepreneurs because we're very busy, and I understand that. I mean, I understand it very well.
Okay,
So yeah.
while we are on there, Alexandra, talk to us about what nutritious food you would recommend business owners to make, say, on a typical day if they're going to be strong. Yeah. Of
Okay.
course, we talked a bit about the physical exercise and all that. Let's do the same thing with that, the nutrition.
Nutrition. Right. So let's assume that we have an entrepreneur who leaves the house at 7 a.m. and then comes back at 11 p.m. Yes, let's make it difficult. And
Yes.
yeah, and they are on the road, so they can't really go to a restaurant and eat, and it's very difficult, is it? So here's what such entrepreneur, such a busy person can do. Number one, cook your food from from the evening before your day. Now I know this sounds like, oh my gosh, what? It takes a lot of time. When am I going to do it?
Yeah.
There are many recipes online that you can do in 10 minutes. It's probably going to take you half hour to learn it, and then once you learn it, it's 10 minutes. And you can also get very creative. I mean, I don't have recipes, and my food has to be ready within, well, very fast. I don't like spending too much time in the kitchen. So you get creative, and the more creative you get, the more ideas you come up with, and then things will be easy. So one, you cook your food. Let's say you can cook your lunch and dinner. You put it in your bag and you have it with you. In the morning, you can have fruit. You can have Greek yogurt. You can have, if you wake up in the morning, you can have an omelet or some type of eggs. You can have dinner leftovers, which is absolutely fine. You can eat that. If you can't cook home, there are choices, and it all depends on the choices we want to make. So many times I go to not to Sainsbury's, to M&S, right, the supermarket, and they have salads. They have salads with sauce on the side. I don't really eat the dressing, the sauce thingy, but they have a lot of salads there, which are just vegetables and feta cheese or whatever it's in them. So it all comes down to the choices we want to make and the discipline, right?
That's right.
So we go back to discipline now.
Absolutely. I like it because you keep referencing something that is core. It is speaking for myself. I find that the moment I begin to lose discipline or demands a higher stuff from myself, even it reflects on the output or the results that I'm getting from my work. The moment I bring that back in my business, business begins to go well, and even I begin to respect my body. My team respects me, but when I begin to slack on that, the opposite happens. So you mentioning that again for our audience to know, I think it's very, very, very important.
Yeah, discipline, it helps you be consistent, and that's why when you lose it, then you stop being consistent, and your business starts to
suffer for it.
Yes, to suffer. Yes.
Excellent. Now let's talk about the third mistake that you see business owners make, especially in the early years of operations.
Yeah. So it's the psychological part. So
okay.
What I want to add here is that there are three reactions taking place in our bodies at any given point. We have the physical with movement, injury, if healing, the body is healing itself from an injury or stuff like that. Then we have the chemical, which is nutrition, for example, and the hormones and everything that's going on in the body. And then we have the psychological component.
Right.
I'm going to go back to these three reactions after I talked about the psychological component. The psychological is stress, anxiety, worry, depression, pretty much anything that's happening in your mind. And as entrepreneurs, we have to be good at controlling them. We have to be very good, because whether you work with clients like I do one-on-one, or you have a team and you have to work with the team, You have to be able to control your depression, your anxiety, and your anger, and your frustration, and the stress. We have to be masters at these things, and that's what. But one of the things I like about being an entrepreneur is that it challenges me at all these levels. So,
Right.
in terms of how to control the mind as much as one person can, because there are things that we, in our subconscious mind that we need to reprogram, basically. But what we can do is control the day-to-day thoughts, the conscious thoughts. So, I mean, if you think about it, when you are all positive and you feel good in general, when you're positive, you feel good. When you
That's right.
start being negative, you kind of start being like you ate sugar 1 hour ago, and your energy levels are down now, collapsed,
That's
right? So it's so I think the first thing we have to do is actually pay attention to our thoughts and control this negativity, because we're surrounded by it. So
all the time.
yes, and we automatically start taking and borrowing all the negative thoughts from other people.
Right. Uh, Still on that, Alexandra, how do you manage that yourself? Give an example of your athlete. When you're competing on an international level like you do, how do you manage that? Because you also are subjected to stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, things are not going well, or the possibility of losing. How do you manage that?
Oh yeah, that's so. No one has ever asked me this before. Insight into a champion's mind, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes, it's a very interesting question, and I have many answers to this. Um, with each competition, I feel in a different way, physically, mentally, and everything. It's
That's right.
different. In general, I have a few things I do. Sometimes they work. I mean, most of the time they work. Sometimes they don't. But I do a few things. For example, I learned a type of fluid stretch that I also do with my clients, and it's on YouTube. So whoever wants to go and search my YouTube channel and watch it. It's a fluid movement stretch that literally opens up your body, gives it more oxygen, and releases the physical tension. And when physical tension is released, then the mental tension is released as well.
Right.
So they're all connected. So that's one. I do that probably 5 or 6 times in a competition, and people just look at me weird, but I don't care. It calms me down.
Right. Well, can you describe that for the benefit of those who are listening?
Oh, I see it would have been better with video. So, so have you seen Tai Chi?
Yes.
Well, it's similar to that, only that with this one, you start opening up the whole body. So it's not the Tai Chi, which is a pattern of movement, but you open up and stretch the muscles and the joints, and it's making, instead of how we stretch in the gym and we hold the stretches for 10 seconds and then we switch and we stretch the other side.
Yes.
There is no, that's not in this stretch. In this stretch, it's about round movements. It's about symmetry. So one arm goes up, one arm goes down, and they come back in circles. One arm goes left, one arm goes right, and they come back in circles. So
Okay, perfect. Is this on your YouTube as well? So our audience will be able to access that, after this time together.
Yeah. So yeah, another thing I do is controlling my thoughts, what I just mentioned, because that kind of affects my performance straight away. A matter of, it's almost instantly.
Right. Right. How do you do that, Alex?
Well, whether I have a mantra or I just I just monitor my thoughts and I change them if I feel I'm becoming negative.
Right.
Otherwise, sometimes I have a mantra like Don't want to tell you. This is more personal now.
Okay, all right, okay. If you okay, you don't have to say that, but you created the mantra for yourself right at the beginning, to help you in times like these ones.
It wasn't at the beginning. I would say it was when I started competing for England. I didn't know when I was 8 years old or 10 years old what a mantra was. I was nervous all the time and stressed out.
Okay. So you would recommend business owners to come up with their own mantra that they can use whenever they work in business. I'll share with you my mantra. I've got two that I literally recite every morning that I'm doing my running, and it goes something like this. Actually, I've got several, but there's two that I normally use every day. Is one of them says, I'm grateful now that I am." I say my name. That I, Yokai Kajilo, I'm totally deserving of the infinite prosperity and all the great riches that life has to offer. So I say that over. Pardon?
That's a brilliant mantra.
Yes, I say that over and over and over again. I'm totally deserving of the infinite prosperity and all the great riches that life has to offer. I say that over and over and over and over again until sometimes, I even change my voice when I'm saying that, making fun of myself. But that has been part of what I'm doing. So, and the other one says, I know that. Gosh, I'm forgetting my own mantra. It says, money comes to me in ever increasing quantities from ever increasing multiple sources at ever increasing pace. So that's when I'm thinking about money. And I've seen that to manifest in myself. When I'm beginning to have a struggle with money, I'll say, who are you? I'm Yokai Kachidori. I'm so grateful and happy now that money comes to me in ever increasing quantities from ever increasing multiple sources at an ever increasing pace. So I say that over and over and over and over again. And because I do this in my own gym here at home, I say that loud enough. So and I've got some moves that goes with it. So when I'm in a situation or I'm communicating with a business owner, or I'm out there and I'm not able to do that, if I do that action, I instantly get into that mood that I am when I'm in the gym in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And straight away I know who I am. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm able to close deals in the process. And there are others that I do, which are not related to money. It's about my health. It's about my my relationships. So I've got a different mantra. And if you walk into my gym here at the house, you can even see it's written on the wall, so that I can when I look at it, I know this is the time.
Writing them at somewhere where you can see them all the time. I have a lot of post-it notes all around the place.
Absolutely, yes. So the use of mantra is incredible. Really transforms lives. If you're a business owner and you're looking to transform your life, it does something in you. Well, it certainly does that for me.
Yeah. Well, now if you shared yours, I'm going to share mine. It's not that personal, but I guess I've never shared it with anyone. The one I usually use for my karate is simple 3 sentences. I'm fast, I'm strong, I'm successful. And that does the trick for me all the time. And I don't have to remember too much, because if I'm nervous and stressed out, I just forget everything.
That's right. And you are fast for you to be in the world championships like that. Certainly it is working.
Yeah,
And,
I think it works.
yes. So for in our audience, if you are thinking of using your own mantra or coming up with something that motivates you, you are on the right track. All great business individuals, have got their mantra that remind them who they are. Because at the end of it, really, in fact, at the core of it, you are an unlimited being, with unlimited access to greatness. And if you can access that, that greatness will be revealed through you. And one way that has been used, throughout the ages is the use of mantra. When you say something over and over, you get to reach to that place, and it does something in you.
Yeah.
Now, Alex, we are coming toward the end of our time here together, but I know for a fact that our audience would want to connect with you at some level, maybe work with you, or maybe invite you to speak at their conferences. How can they do that, and how can they connect with you?
Right. Well, there are several options. You can check out my website, which I have two: Alexandra Merisoiu.com and the Merisoiu-technique.com. Or I think it's going to be easier if you look my name up on Facebook. So whoever messages me on Facebook, I answer within the hour or within 5 minutes.
Okay. For the benefit of those who don't know how to spell your name, would you kindly give them that way?
Yes. So it's Alexandra, how you normally write it, Alexandra, and Merisoiu, Merisoiu.
Incredible. And what do you actually do, Alex?
I work with entrepreneurs and also corporate employees but since we're talking to entrepreneurs here, when I work with entrepreneurs, I help them achieve a healthy and fit life for a healthy and fit business.
Right.
And what I specialize in, so I did specializing courses, specialist courses for low back pain management and prevention. And it is statistically showed that I would say many people, 4 out of 5, I think it was, people suffer from low back pain at some point in their life. And as entrepreneurs, we don't want that to happen because it's very unproductive.
Absolutely. It slows you down from getting to where you want to get to.
Yeah, we don't want to be.
No, not me. Is there anything that I have not asked you, Alex, that you think a business owner will benefit from your experience?
Well, I think we've covered pretty much the essential, obviously. If anyone wants to know more, they can contact me. In essence, I help you get fit and healthy so you can be productive. That is the bottom line.
What you do
for entrepreneurs, yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? I really appreciate you taking time to speak with our audience here. And as you know, our audience keeps growing every single time. Now we were actually featured in the American, one of the newspapers there, and we're getting quite a lot of interaction there. And we are pleased that if you are joining us for the first time here at Enlightened Entrepreneur, I'm hoping that you were taking a lot of notes because what you learn here, really and truly speaking, is some of the cutting edge training that you can implement today and is actually working today. With that says, Alex, thanks again for being here with us, and I look forward to another episode we're going to do together because we like you here.
Thank you.
And for those who are in our audience who want to be connected with Alex, you can either send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com, or you can contact Alex. It's Alex at Alex.
It's Alexandra Merisoiu, Merisoiu.
Correct. .com. Correct. And she'll be able to contact you back straight away at that point. Okay. Any questions? Do let us know. And with that said, thanks again for joining us, and thank you, Alex, for being here with us today.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye for now.